Well, it's not even a countdown from Andrew Katz here as Burning the Red Shirt returns for the first time in a month. We are a monthly podcast in this season, we have determined. It's Chris Kay, Andrew P. Katz, and Katz's dryer. Or is it dryer or washer in the background?
Dryer.
What's so special about this dryer load that we can't hit the old pause button? Do you need it done in a certain amount of time or?
Optimally. Where our house was what's the right word? Built by a slumlord developer or whatever phrase you might find to be appropriate. So things were the whole closing process took like 8 months, and a lot of it had to do with so it was like new construction, and the guy kept having to like resubmit stuff for inspection by the city because it wasn't up to code, and he was just like trying to he's a scumbag. But one of the things is basically the room for the washer and dryer doesn't have enough room for the like exhaust thing that that sends the heat outside for that thing to be like in any way that like is like straight. It's all like cramped up, so the dryer doesn't actually work efficiently. It takes like you have to dry things like 3 times for them to get actually dry. And we've also had like smoky smells and stuff in the past that we think result from this, and like requires like upkeep and stuff. It's not amazing. But I don't want to have to be drying all night. I do appreciate the cathartic element of like running the dryer at night and hearing that noise while I'm like reading a book or and
it's like a sound machine.
Exactly, yeah. So that's nice, but still, we got enough backload of laundry right now. Laundry is my one of my chores that I own. So we've got a backlog that we're trying to clear by tomorrow when we go away for Thanksgiving. So there is a time component to this.
Well, that's good to know. I'm sure people listening to us that, to put their kids to sleep or themselves to sleep appreciate the extra sound machine noise effect that Cass has created for us.
Do you hear it right now? It sounds like it's going to explode.
It does sound like it's going to explode. That is correct. But yeah, so I think, what has happened in the last month besides maybe Diego Pavea blowing up, some big playoff, big games that impact the playoff here this weekend. And maybe most importantly, per Pete Nakos, Parker Navarro has applied for a 7th year of eligibility.
The what would you call it? The traditional media transfer portal people that will always tweet this stuff out didn't bother to include any sort of context. Like, what's the argument here? Because that's stuff's always interesting, right? Like, is he going down a path that's been previously walked, or is he trying to like try new or break new ground, a new argument of sorts? I don't know if people take the people that argue like, oh, like get a job or whatever, take personal offense to it or something like that. But anything that can actually buoy the quality of football in the MAC, I'm generally a proponent of it, given like assuming he runs it back and stays at Ohio, right? That's like I'd like firmly like, let's give him a 7th year if he's going to keep Ohio football at an above average watchability index. But I don't know, like we're already going to lose so many good players from that conference every single year. If we can, whatever we could do to like keep a school playing well, I'm like fairly down with.
Yeah, it was funny. I like clicked into all the links hoping to find like the context of why, but none of them had it. It just was like, oh yeah, they're a 3-star or whatever. But
he wants to play.
The question here is, what's more likely to happen if he is determined okay for a 7th season? Do you think he stays at Ohio? Do you think he transfers to another MAC school, or do you think he transfers out of the MAC?
I would make the front runner that he runs it back.
I feel like they should almost say, like, look, if you're going to get another year, you just can't stay at the same school. Like, if we're going to give it to you, you got to go somewhere else. But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
The second most interesting thing is the fact that Bowling Green and UMass are about to play or are playing or have played, just depending on which work company is listening to this podcast. 4:30 p.m. game on a Tuesday.
Yeah, interesting. Very relevant for Fantrax leagues, right? Because that's like when your auto sips need to be set by. So it's getting that, scrambling to have that done by the start of traditional action is one thing, but now the sneaky 4 p.m. kick, 4:30 p.m. kick on Tuesday is like you don't even have those extra 3 hours that you thought you had. I got it all done a little earlier today for no big deal, just the 4 leagues that I made the finals in.
But how many leagues are you in?
6. So not bad.
The 4 is pretty good. Yeah, 4 is pretty good. Well, one of them is a third place game. Don't even come at me with the 4.
That's one that I didn't make it in.
Okay, so what are the 4 that you're in? Industry?
Industry.
Dude, I'm so mad I didn't make it in industry. I have Caleb Hawkins, and it just was like, great. I would have.
How did you get? Did you get him like at a reasonable price, like, or did you have to blow your whole budget for him?
That's a great question. I want to say I probably blew my whole budget on him, but let's see. I mean, it was worth it for the 5 weeks.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Let's see.
Insane. But
do you think he transfers out, or do you think he stays, or do you think he follow? Like, I guess let me rephrase this. Yeah. Do you think he goes to a bad situation, or do you think he stays in a good situation?
So he's definitely going P4, right? And then it's like, hopefully Eric Morris just ports over the crew wherever he lands. That's probably the best possible outcome for all these North Texas guys. Every other outcome is probably not as good as that.
And it's not going to be good, yeah.
And it ranges from like okay to like probably not great.
I put my whole budget on him, but I only had to pay $628 for him back on September 23rd.
$628. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, so it doesn't matter. You have him on your team, so that's sick.
Oh, I mean, completely worth it too. My team was just very good. It just could not do it, could not cut it. Yeah. Interesting. Lost my train of thought looking up what.
So all right, let's talk about the stuff that mainly only we care about, but for a public audience. Are you what's the right word? The poker term for it's not staking, but the thing where equity swapping with Ethan?
I am not making comments on my equity staking or non-equity staking.
I've been thinking about it for you on your behalf, because generally speaking, like chopping and all that bullshit that people like to do, like I'm usually like, fuck that, absolutely not.
So wait. For context,
yeah,
I have made it to the transfer portal tournament, which is the $25 best ball tournament on Underdog. Ethan also made it. If you don't know who Ethan is, then I don't know. I'm not going to explain it. Ethan's my
everyone knows.
Ball with my bestie. Exactly.
If they're listening to this, they know.
Ethan has made it. So we are 2 of the 23 entries.
Insane.
All right. So I think I posed the question to you, like, should I do it? Should we like equity swap it a little bit? Just out of curiosity, what you're thinking. I mean, first place is 10K. Even if you get like 8th place, it's like 1,000. So like, it's like a, for players like us, it's a pretty significant piece. Not the
Thank you for providing actual context, because otherwise I was just going to ramble for 5 minutes, which I'll do now. But
it's not my first rodeo.
No one would have known what we're talking about. But generally speaking, like when it comes to like chopping or splitting or anything like that, I'm like absolutely not. Fuck that. But I think it's a little different here, because that attitude comes from a place where I like to think that I can outmaneuver, out roster, manage my competition, all the psychological whatever elements. I think I can get done. But like, this is best ball, right? It's all set in stone. Chips are already on table. The cards are just being turned over. So if we're talking about you and Ethan having two teams that have like a reasonable chance, right? I think that the negotiation might be fairly straightforward, and it's probably sensible for you to each have a piece of 2 bullets instead of 1. It's only 23 people. That's so cool that you made that. Last year I had at least 1 team make the semis in the portal. This year I only had 1 team make the first round, and that team had no chance. I've been screwing up I don't even know if I've been screwing it up, but like the way I've been both years, the way I've done my transfer portal drafting is I waited till like the last day, the last 2 days. And it's like in the moment, it played out incredibly. So much dead money, so many terrible people drafting with me. But this year, it didn't matter, because everyone I was hammering at that point, they all got hurt. It was like Angeli, Prabula, Who else?
Wesco.
Wesco. Like the I don't know. It like all those teams just died swiftly. So live by the sword, die by the sword type deal. When we talked before this week's round, you thought your team like was decent. Did you show out, or did everyone else just kind of not did not happen?
I mean, I only put up 169 points, which would not have qualified for a lot of them. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
I also had like Fernando Mendoza on bye, so I was a little concerned. It also has Dylan Edwards, so that's like a dead first round pick, one of many people's.
Was the portal? It was a pot of 4.
Pot of 5.
Pot of 5.
No, 4. I think last round was 5.
So it's like totally different when you think about like what qualifies, right? Because like Best Ball Mania was 5 and Tailgate was 9. So, but 4 is like anything. Like you put up a 160 on 170, like that's totally in play. You didn't. It's not like I wouldn't say you got like amazing luck or anything.
I got average luck to good luck.
Yeah.
The guy behind me had Joe Jackson for 50. So like, and to an extent, like, didn't he have incredible luck? My team is pretty interesting in that I have a stud tight end and Eli Stowers. The only problem is that like if he goes off, then I don't have Diego Pavea, and that could be. I'm like very. If you were playing these tournaments, I should say actually you are playing these tournaments because you have all entries in the Best Ball Mania, right?
It's totally different, right?
I know, but I'm just saying, like, from a fade perspective, like you're involved.
Well, yes, but like the way that you're talking about it with Stowers going up and not having Pavea, not that I can action on anything, but that is how I need to think about it because I have 2 Best Ball Manias, which is 176 people, and then I have 2 tailgates, which I think is 126. 23 person tournament. I don't think you like until they advance and you see like kind of what you're up against. Like, how many people do you think realistically have Pavia?
The hard part is that he had a week 12 bye, so like how many survived?
Yes.
So that would be the question. That's kind of like with Lacey. It's like how many? I mean, Lacey's been incredible.
Yeah.
Did he carry that team and then they died in week 13? My guess is that they're higher percent. I think Lacey was 30% owned in the semifinals, so he would have to be.
How did you do that math? Is that like readily available?
It's like it just shows it on the app. It shows it on the screen.
I saw. I guess it was an update on like the Android. That I started to see some percentage things when I was.
And then they fully. At first, it was like 4 guys had it, and then it was like half of them, and then all of them had it.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Lacey was 30% owned. Hardy was like 28%.
Is this portal or
this is the portal? Yeah.
Okay.
So I would imagine if you, I don't know, it's so hard to guess. I would say Pavea and Lacey are probably 25-30% owned, like, which means what? Like 4 to 5 guys, 4 to 5 teams.
It might be less, right? 30%. Like a lot of, I don't know. Whatever. On my 4 teams, I think I have at least 2 Lacey's. I'm hoping that he comes in a little lower on because he's gonna get shred. It's gonna be great.
So I guess there's 92 teams that were in the semifinals, right? If it's
yes.
So that would mean there were like 28 or 29 teams that had Lacey. So you could, in theory, see who is there and knock out a few. But yeah, it's exciting for sure.
Yeah,
sick. I'm excited about it. But I don't have Diego, I don't have Jeremiah Love, I don't have Hardy, but I do have Lacey, and I do have some low owned guys. Fernando Mendoza against Purdue feels like just a smash spot.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish I had Surratt, but I don't.
Yeah, they're gonna try to get him at least 304.
It really is an interesting thought experiment because there's so many guys that were impactful the full season, and then in the playoff they had a bye week. So like, did they get through and all that? It's a very interesting thing to think about and just be like, oh, I'm curious. So that's why I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. That's why I keep refreshing my underdog screen every 10 minutes.
What does Ethan have? Is his team good?
He is like full fade on all those guys. Yeah, he's got a good team. It's just his quarterbacks are a tad weak. He's got like Carson Beck, and I could pull it up. He's got Carson Beck, Bear Bachmeyer, and Ty Simpson. He's got Hankerson, Mike Washington, Dickey, Jordan Marshall, and then he's got both Louisville running backs. The thing that I think he's really got a nice little piece of is Mekhi Lemon at receiver.
Oh, that's dope.
And then Jordan Hudson has been incredible. He's 3% in the semifinal. And then he has Sadiq at tight end, who was 16% owned. So like he's got some really, but he's full fade of those. I told him he's got a team that's either going to get first or last. Like I could see him blowing people out of the water in first place, and I could see him get smashed.
Yeah.
So do you have any thoughts on like how the drafts went? It's like anything you would immediately say I need to do that next year?
Do you think it will be like, will you try and, so basically any player that was on a team that faced an FCS squad did nothing in the semifinals?
Kind of, yeah, right. I mean, Antonio Williams had 2 touchdowns and it was like 18 points, which I'll take.
257 too.
Yeah, but like in theory, it could be way better than that.
Yeah,
I think moving forward, I did not do it this year. Last year, I certainly did, where I was like, oh, I want Cam Coleman against an FCS team. I want this Auburn player against. Remember, Auburn was a big one. It was like against an FCS team. All these SEC guys. I would prefer not to go out chase that. Maybe use honestly, if anything, it's a negative tiebreaker. Like
that's what I was saying here.
I would
like
think
they all sucked.
And I'll also say too, this is something I'll do all offseason, but like I'm pretty sure the SEC has less high performers than all the other conferences. At least last year that was the case. So like it's not really all that beneficial to target SEC guys to begin with. But I don't know, maybe they hope you get to the playoff. That's that whole get to the playoff versus win the playoff type thing. But yeah, I'm not going to look at playoffs like it's anything. I'll say one thing that I want to try to remember is, this is going to sound so elementary. If I think you're good in the first and second rounds, I'm going to draft like 15%, 10 or 15% of you, and probably not more. I just don't want to be like 30% a first round guy and then be dead on a 30% first rounder. Like if I like Bryson Washington, I think is good. Like Jeremiah Love, all those guys, just give me 10 to 15% of every single one of them. And then if they get hurt, when they get hurt, I'm not getting killed.
Arch and Sellers having good week 13s after being garbage the entire year is kind of annoying.
I'm curious how many got there, and then how many could even get to week 13 by there, because they went absolutely crazy. Quarterback is kind of a weird spot, but yeah, there's some stars out there. Do you think Haynes King replicates his 2024 Georgia game?
Oh, it's got to be in play, right? Our defense is nothing great.
And he's going to run it 20 plus times.
Yeah. It's ready to die on the field.
Always. If you were playing this, I mean, as you're playing this tournament, do you think it's more fun to have Friday guys, or would you prefer all your guys on Saturday, or split?
Mostly Saturday. It's always more fun trying to come back than protect your lead, right?
Yeah. Do you think the commissioner of college football should talk to Underdog about not scheduling Notre Dame and Stanford as the final game in 2026?
Yeah, I have some Jeremiah Love, so I have no problem with it if he drops 50 in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I might actually stay up way past my bedtime. I have some Jadarian Price. But yeah, the other late games would be like SMU Cal. So like I have Kevin Jennings, so that'll be interesting. Otherwise, it's like UNC, NC State is at 7:30, and then you get a bunch of them. So yeah, it'll be interesting. This will be a fun tournament. I'm glad that I actually am able to watch and not be pissed off at myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a prediction? Do you think one of your teams can do it based on what you got?
So they're all four are good. Looking at them, I don't think like, oh man, that one is fucking incredible. And I also don't think like, damn, that one has no chance. The team, I had a third Best Ball Mania team that almost got through, and then Demond went off in the second half and took care of that. If that team got through, it would have been dead. I would have had no chance. But it would have been nice to like make a few extra $100 or whatever. But all four of mine are like, the only thing that is annoying from one of them, it had Chris Bell, so that's a 0. So now that team is like, it needs like from receiver, it's got like four or five guys that are like play football, which is nice. Sategna, Reggie Virgil, Denzel Boston, and I think Quasi Gilmore, and maybe one other. But that now it would have been nice to have Bell there. But running back, I'm solid across the board. Quarterback, it's like above average. I don't know. I have Beck on probably at least 3 of my teams. And so it'd be nice if he replicates last week, which feels like that game could be really fucking fun, right, against Pitt. And he could just do like a 304 type deal. And then my tight ends, like I think I have one Sadiq, 2 Trig, 1 Jolly, maybe.
Jolly.
Yeah, is it Jolly? I like Jolly better.
Jolly is way better, but yeah, it's Jolly.
Yeah. Running back, I'm like, I'll put my running backs up against anyone. I think I've got 2 Lacey's, at least 2 LJ Martin, 1 Ahmad Hardy, 2 Jeremiah Loves across the 4 teams, and then like I don't know, some other decent guys as well. Receiver is I don't think there's any team. One of them, I think one of the tailgates is like real bad. It's McAllister, and then it's like shit. Pray Jeff Caldwell puts up 10 points again. Otherwise, like we're whatever Jeff Caldwell does is probably receiver too. But all my other teams, it's like I have at least 3 to 4 guys who will put up at my WR2 spot will probably be at least 10 points, I would think, on my other 3 teams. So I don't know. I don't look at any of them and think this is like a real top 10, top 5 shot, but I think that any of those 4 teams could come in the top 20.
It's going to take someone random going for 45 to win one of those bigger tournaments. Like it really, truly does when you have that many people in the tournament. Or maybe it takes Kadon Salter going for 45.
Do you have him?
I don't. I wish. I have Nico. Watch Nico go for 45 against USC.
I have a bunch of Nico. That would be nice.
So Juju Lewis is sitting out the game. They just
announced it?
It's been announced that he's been sitting out the game. Yes, go ahead. Go chase some unders. And
there's something up. You brought it up the other day. It would have been nice if it like chilled and they didn't announce that shit.
It's too easy. That was too easy. So yeah, so Salter playing. I wonder if there's any Salters out there. That'd be funny. But let's talk actual college football here. Is it great that Oregon State and Washington State are playing a second time and it's on the last week of the season? Or is it great that they played like 3 weeks ago and they're playing again?
I mean, I need Oregon State to win that to cash a win total for Washington State under, which is like looking deader than dead, even though I don't know, somehow they won the first game. Like it makes 0 sense. Just given how those 2 teams have trended since that first meeting. I always like the twice meeting in the regular season thing. It's a fun little quirk of CFB, so you won't get any complaints from me out of it.
They are third. They're almost 2 touchdown underdogs to Washington State.
You when you not to dox your behavior too badly, but when you venture to Kentucky, you've made some season-long bets. Anything that's come down to?
I didn't bet anything really this year. Last year I did.
No,
I don't think I ended up doing it. The only thing I did was the Arizona State stuff. So that's dead in the water.
Wow.
Heisman, playoff, and to win the Big 12. RIP. Do you have a Heisman winner right now?
We can talk Heisman. Oh, I do see something I need to bet, but I can wait, I guess.
You can bet it right now. I'll talk about who I think could win the Heisman. It may have been you.
It's fine.
Somebody mentioned to me that Ty Simpson's number was like plus 50,000.
Yeah.
That's absurd, right? Like that's gone now, but that's absurd.
It's I guess show out against Auburn and then win in the SEC championship.
Yeah,
I do think there's. What do you think Mendoza is garbage against Ohio State? Like I think that's the most likely outcome.
It could very well happen, yeah.
And then so you just played from there, right? What's the ripple effect look like?
Diego loses, doesn't look anything special. He's out. Jeremiah
Yeah.
Love. I just don't know if they're going to give Jeremiah Love the Heisman.
Did you see that your boy Chris Vianney just tweeted that voting won't even open until 48 hours before
Conference championship game, I think.
that what it is? Yeah. So people can't just vote for Jeremiah Love the day after he goes for 304 against Stanford. So that you would think there's some like that. That's not good for Jeremiah Love. But the tout industrial complex groundswell is all about trying to get him the Heisman, right? Everyone who has a Jeremiah Love ticket is just shilling him on Twitter, doing whatever they can to try and get that to the finish line. So listen, don't it's so much fun when you're like riding that wave of these losers in media that will actually are depraved enough to like use their job right there to try and get someone a Heisman so that they cash a winning bet ticket. And I do have Jeremiah Love tickets, so I would be enjoying it more if I thought it was more realistic. Even like seeing the number come down to like where he's now plus 450. I just don't see how it like I don't know how it's gonna happen. Like he plays in the middle of the night this week and then he doesn't play next week. Like that is how outside of having a pristine matchup against Stanford, every other factor is bad for him.
It's not great. No, the timing situation's awful. And I was pro Love talking about how like the usage stuff could be really interesting. And then I said he would be the first, RB1 the rest of the way. He wasn't because obviously Caleb Hawkins and some others. But like, I just don't know how his season could turn into a Heisman winner with like, what's his, like everybody's got a moment, right? Whatever. But like, I don't know, like they lost 2 games and then he won 10 against 10 bad teams. I just feel like that's just not going to happen. As much as he's got the golden dome or head on, right? The helmet on, but there is a world for sure where he could get it. You need some safe stuff. I don't think that type of stuff that I said earlier was going to happen, but at like plus 50,000 for Ty Simpson, that's enough of a shot. Like plus 600 or plus 450, like not worth it. What did you get Love at?
30, I think.
That's like, see, that's great then. It's like, all right, well, like let's get in here.
Yeah, it's not.
Is there any cash out for that, or?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say it's one of those situations. It's almost like you wish there was a cash out because, like, realistically, that ain't happening. But
yeah,
who knows?
And then I have saying at like 2-1, so like a bad number. But I don't know.
You bet 2-1. I feel like you're not the type of guy to bet 2-1.
I forget why I did it. It was I was looking for the best way to bet against Mendoza, and I thought it was that. It was like at a weird point in time a few weeks ago where the only thing I felt strongly about was not Mendoza, and it was like, oh well, saying we'll just kick his ass in the Big Ten title game, and this was also before
Peyton and Smith were out.
Exactly, yeah, but. It's whatever.
You think there's any surprises this weekend? Any surprise L's in the rivalry games? Do you think Auburn could win? Do you think Michigan wins? Do you think I don't know? Do you think there's any big upsets?
Oh yeah, I could see some shit getting weird, right? I'm mostly so there's like a number of games that I'm paying attention to try and figure out if I can like lose less money on season win totals with hedging and stuff like that. But like everything's in like an annoying situation where like I need a team to win
and somebody else needs to do something.
It's not that. It's like, so I need Delaware to lose and they're 5.5 point favorites. So like, I can't even like, I can't, every team I need to lose is basically a big enough favorite where I can't even like hedge out. And there's no way amongst everything else that's all going on Saturday that I'm just going to be able to monitor these games live and look for like a money line if that team, if Delaware's down like 10-0 or whatever, and I can get them at like plus 200 or something like that. So I'll let the chips fall how they may for that. But I have like 5 of those. And then I've got not a ton, but like a bunch of conference championship things going on where I need like Western Kentucky to get in and win, Southern Miss to get in and win, and like all the tiebreakers. Do you ever read about this stuff? Like try and educate yourself on conference tiebreakers?
Sometimes, but I can only really care if it involves the team I care about.
Yeah, there's like a mix of bad information, misinformation, and disinformation. And then like the bad information is like the conferences will put in their rules on their websites talking about like, oh, well, if you get to this point, like in terms of like comparing to these teams that are tied, it comes down to computer rankings. And then it will like either not say what the computer rankings are, or like it'll be outdated. Like I've heard that like the AAC one maybe references two that don't exist anymore. And then like which conferences in the Mountain West on their official website, it says they include S&P Plus as one of the computer rankings that they use. And then Bill Connolly in his article coming out of this past weekend is like, yeah, this year the Mountain West isn't using S&P Plus as one of their ratings. And then you've got like people on Twitter just like trying to like shill bets and stuff, talking about like how they see playing it out and stuff, and like but like a lot of that is just like dumb logic and stuff. But the most fun bet I have that I made like in September was it's 80-1 Western Kentucky and North Texas to ship the AAC and CUSA, which is looking very live, of course. Western Kentucky, so I've been so focused on the CUSA one because I can't figure out if they win, they're in. If they lose, they're in a tie with Kennesaw. Connolly says it's computer stuff. Bacon sent me the like official CUSA document from their site that like says that it is like some sort of like you like compare teams that you're tied with to based on like the best record or the record you have against the best common opponent, something fucking deranged, which wouldn't go favorably for Western Kentucky. I don't know. Hopefully like my teams just win this weekend and make it a little easier.
I have a buddy that has two of them absolutely obscene conference bet. Virginia to make the ACC championship game, and it's like 75 to win 4,000 or something.
Wow, dude, that the 200-1 Virginia tickets were so easily gettable, and like everyone was touting them preseason. But like I was so strong headed on this team fucking sucks. Like Virginia, like I'm betting the under on their win total, and even though all this logic comes out that like makes it apparent that like that is a bad position, I was like, I know more than everyone else, et cetera, et cetera. So would it have hurt to just maybe put $15, $20 on 200-1 Virginia ticket? Probably not. I'd be a little more invested in the ACC race, I would say.
And he's in a great spot because Virginia is basically a 10-point favorite. So like if you wanted to, I don't know if he's going to. Would you hedge if you had, let's say 50 to win 2,000? Would you hedge?
Who are they playing? Virginia Tech? Man.
They've basically beaten Virginia Tech once in the last 22 years, I think it is.
I really like look down on the idea of hedging more before like that final game. I guess in this scenario where it's like such a big number and it's like as clean as win and in, and maybe it's a little different, right? I don't like, and it's how nice is that though? You can probably get like plus 200 on your hedge too, so that's pretty sick. I would probably hedge a little in that scenario.
It might even be more than that.
Yeah.
It might even be like plus 300.
Damn, that's nice. Kyron, dude, I kind of like the new Virginia Tech offense where it's just they just play 2-man games with Kyron Jones and Michael Hawkins all day.
Marcellus. Yeah, people want Pop Watson to play, which will be interesting. I don't think it'll happen, but he scores one touchdown against Miami, and then everybody wants him to play. So we'll see what happens. What's more likely to happen? Auburn beating Bama, Michigan beating Ohio State, or Georgia Tech beating Georgia?
Oh.
Georgia Tech is a 14-point underdog, essentially. Michigan's essentially a 10-point, and who was the last one? Bama is basically a touchdown favorite.
It's a great question. I guess Georgia's been playing really well lately. That game's going to be like, so as a Georgia fan, I'm sure it's not going to be fun to watch. I'm sure it's going to be really close for a while. I would think we probably end up separating at some point. The idea of Auburn beating Bama, I think, is like more vibes based than in reality. I think it's more like, like of course this is the game that DeBoer loses, more than like anything that's actually gone on the field this year and like what is likely to happen coming into this game. So I'll put that last. And are we going to pretend that Carnell Tate isn't quitting on the team for
You think he's quitting?
You don't think he's doing the JSN?
I mean, maybe he is. Why in this day and age? Why would you not just play in the playoff though? Like, why not finish it out?
Why didn't JSN? Why'd he quit?
I don't remember the full context of that situation.
I've been listening to some Milton and Ohio State podcasts lately,
and they think he might be quitting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They kind of don't live in reality though.
Only partially.
Yeah.
So which one do you think it is? Quick, on the spot.
Georgia.
Georgia, you think is most likely to lose the bunch?
Yeah, I think that it's like the idea of Michigan like moving the ball effectively on Ohio
doesn't feel
State.
like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a 13-10 game if they win. I just don't see how they would do anything more than that. Is it a cop-out, or is it just like a soft move for Georgia Tech to play their home game against Georgia at Mercedes-Benz?
So gross, dude. What, like that? Yeah.
It's one thing to like move a random game to a more favorable position for your opponent. It's another to do it in a rivalry game with a team that you distinctly hate.
It's a total fuck you to your fans.
It's pretty shameful, I would say.
Have you ever gone to Bobby Dodd?
I have, yeah. I used to go to a couple of them because Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech used to always be on a Thursday night. And so I've been to, I think, 2 Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech games there.
Nice.
It's great. I love the setup. You haven't been, I'm guessing, right?
We walked around, last time I think it was when I was going to Georgia, Tennessee. We stayed in Atlanta, and we like checked out the baseball stadium, which looks pretty sweet. Did you play there?
Yeah, I did play in the ACC.
Nice. Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah. The football stadium is awesome, especially at night because you get the city, all the buildings feel like right on top of you, and it's a really like tight, like close to you, stadium in terms of the field and all that. It's great.
Not quite the TED though.
The TED? Are you talking about
where Georgia State plays?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, are you talking about the Turner Field?
Don't they play there?
They do, yeah, they do, yeah. We've been there for that. Not for a game. It's not great when it's like the end of like a 5K race. You know, like I don't want a 5K ending on my football field.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. I was going to ask you about somebody else, and now I just got completely thrown off by your TED comment.
Have you started making any notes yourself for 2026, guys?
No, I haven't. I'm guessing you have.
I have 2.
But you're not going to tell us.
We can tell. Give a little peek behind the curtain. One's a tight end, one's a quarterback.
I'm not even going to take a shot at guessing.
All right. The tight end is like, I think it's just purely from my ignorance. Have you watched much UCF this year?
You talk about Wade?
Dude, he's fucking sick. Like that dude moves so differently than like pretty much everyone.
It does feel like he moves differently for sure.
Yeah, and then like they're now making like there's pretty much nothing else. There's nothing else they could do. Right. But like now it's just it seems like the only time the offense does anything is when they get him the ball in space and then he just kind of gets it, just makes everyone else look like little kids trying to tackle him. But it would be cool to see him with in an actual competent passing offense. I guess there's give and take with that, right? Like if there's more weapons around, like does he? It's not like he gets like a shitload of targets, but like I feel like he's getting like 6 to 8 most weeks. But I don't know. The thought never even crossed my mind to draft him at any point this season. But
I mean, Gus never used tight ends, right? So like, why would he start now? But I guess if he doesn't,
was he there last year too?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I know he's Maryland originally, I think. But he's my note for tight end. And now I'm watching. It sucks because I can only find this game on the ESPN app, which is like such a disaster versus like the YouTube 20-minute cut up, which is like the best way to like try and get eyes on a player and like educate yourself on like how good he is. But the Middle Tennessee quarterback Gagliano, have you watched him?
No, but Justice brought him up to me the other day, and I was like, I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah, he can play. He's nice, dude. Running. So when he runs, it reminds me of Holton Ayler's running. Not quite as plump or bulky, but
just as white.
Yeah, and like there's not much deking going on. It's kind of it's more just like we're going downhill and as many yards as we can get before someone brings it down type deal. But Chris Ball throws the ball well. I don't know. But it's painful watching this. Like I'm almost at halftime of this Sam Houston State game, and yesterday I started watching, got through like a quarter. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but like as opposed to like YouTube, right, where you hit you watch it, pause it, home screen, go back, it brings you to where you were. ESPN app, like it just brought me back to the beginning of the thing, and I had to find where I was. I'm like, add that to the list of a zillion other horrible things with the ESPN app.
I canceled my ESPN Plus once they connected. I was like, I'm out. I don't need to watch ESPN Plus. I don't do G5 anymore. Remember?
I don't remember what brought that about.
I'm just an underdog, cop out, sellout. You know, I don't analyze the G5 anymore.
But I mean, you have your tax write-offs on Fantrax too.
I need to incorporate that because typically I do need it as a write-off. This year I have a shot at not needing to write it off. But we'll see.
Are you gonna be Nate?
It's gonna be so close. The projections on that site are just wild.
Yeah, they're insane.
I feel like my projections are tight enough where it's like it's not a coin flip, but it's like it feels 55-45 to me. It doesn't feel outlandish. The thing is, he has so many quarterbacks that he has a real shot at like a legitimate 30, 35 plus performance from three guys.
Do you have any bullets in the chamber? How are you gaming this out in your head where like, okay, if I have to break glass and cut some dynasty stashes mid-Saturday or something to try and get some extra bullets to take this thing down, do you have that lined up?
I haven't thought about that because I feel like most of the guys I have kept are guys that I like. And then if I don't like you, you're already off and I've already moved somebody for you. So like not this Marcel Williams guy. He's on Akron there on the bye week and I picked him up in the playoffs, so I can't keep him anyway. So he's already about to be gone.
Yeah.
I think most of the guys that are on my team are like the only stash I have is like maybe like Tanuk Hines, but he went off. Like you're not dropping Miles Coleman.
Why? I think you need to.
I actually think it wouldn't be the worst idea, but I don't know. Like I would drop Nate Palmer before I drop Miles Coleman. I still have Nate Palmer on my team. Is that a dumb move?
Well, here's what I think you got to do. You got to line up in your head or at least take on notes like who you want to cut those guys for, and optimally they're like later in the day on Saturday guys, and you pull the trigger if you need. You're getting the sense like I need to grab like an extra 10, give myself a chance at extra 10, 20 points. If Nate's just absolutely killing you, obviously it doesn't matter, but you got to line that up in advance, man, so that it's just execution as opposed to trying to figure out the theory on the spot.
Spray and puree. Yeah, the nice thing is I have a bunch of Friday running backs, and so I'll have an idea of if I need to drop Palmer. Well, not that Palmer would give me points, but like running back will be kind of decided fairly quickly.
He's a good one too because he plays at night on Saturday, so you've got time.
Yeah, exactly. You know, well, 3:30, but close enough. Like
is it? I thought it was a night game.
Looks like 330. Yeah, interestingly enough, but yeah, his team is ridiculous because they're quarterbacks. But my quarterbacks, I had 6 guys over 30 points last week, so hopefully I can replicate that again. I cannot believe that Carlos Del Rio Wilson is like an actual fancy asset. You remember watching him at Syracuse and thinking like, what in the world is going on?
They're trying to get him another year.
I'd be down for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Why not? Based on what I'm looking at, you should have plenty of years.
He enters college football a long time ago, doesn't he?
2021.
He's got at least one medical in there, maybe 2. But yeah, he was part of the Valari quarterback experiment, right?
Oh God, yeah. It will come. I think this contest will come down to he has Caleb Hawkins. I have Mestamaker. If Caleb Hawkins scores 5 touchdowns, like it's over because one of my best quarterbacks is toast on top of it. So we'll see.
That makes sense. I thought the TCU game was at night because it like on the like score app it shows that's the last game. Why is the last Big 12 game at 3:30 in the afternoon on Saturday? That's so gross.
I don't know. As I've ventured out into the G5 because we're trying to get more teams to show for unabated, we've done Utah State, which is incredible because they use like literally 6 guys and that's it, like across the board everywhere. Are you familiar with Anthony Garcia?
Yes, I either added him or considered adding him at some point in a couple of leagues. It sucks he's QB only on Fantrax, right? I assume that's still the case because it would be so fun if he had receiver eligibility. They let him do so much cool stuff.
You're welcome. I picked him up in BTR league for us.
Oh, nice.
He is just a quarterback, yeah. But it's crazy. He had like 8 or 9 targets last week.
And he still throws passes sometimes.
He
might be the guy the next year. He might be quarterback for them.
Yeah.
Bronco let Dampier play quarterback. Why wouldn't he let this guy?
Makes complete sense. I picked him up because of Nate's Pulse of the Nation article remember he did a couple of weeks back, and it was like a QB stashes thing, or maybe it was just a separate.
Did he have Garcia in there?
He had Garcia in there.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, you know what? I hate listening to Nate, but this feels somewhat knowledgeable, so I'm going to snag all these guys. Like, what do you think about? He listed Lincoln Kienholz as a guy.
I feel like it's Devin Brown part 2.
Those Ohio State quarterbacks are weirdly loyal. It's odd. Any final thoughts or comments before we wrap up?
It's almost bowl season, man. Can't wait.
We're gonna be. I think I'm gonna use Gemini, aka like AI, to try to figure out these like record holder stuff because that's what we always need to shoot for. Feels like it'd be faster to use AI for.
Last year we had Fannin, right? I guess that was that. I feel like that was the only one that
Fannin was the big one for sure.
Yeah,
and then there was the Cam Ward news, but that wasn't a record. That just was like rumored / given, and then he still almost went over in the first half. That was such a sweat. Yeah, we're almost on bowl season. That's like the speculation game is so fun. I feel like, especially for us, we love the speculation game. That's why we love the off season. But yeah, hope everybody enjoys rivalry week, enjoys the games. Hopefully, if you're playing in any tournaments, championships, good luck. Unless you're playing me or Katz, then sorry. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys in bowl season for sure at some point. So, alrighty, guys.